Welcome back to another one of these videos. Last time we discussed a lot of stuff about my mental state. You know, it wasn't no bueno, but at the end we just realized, and there's an easy way out of this stuff. You know, it's all about mindset. At the end of the day, I'll probably do a video elaborating about just everything being mindset. But anyways, today's topic is a little bit different. It doesn't revolve me, but just kind of what I'm observing in the world. This one is gonna just talk about how I see, like, when I'm observing things, like when I see just like society in general, I see like there's a lot more like mass conformity in a way. Just like everyone like tries to be that, like everyone is like tries to be like the same so much more than like I usually do. This seems like to happen after like post 2020. I feel like living in post 2020, the world is fucked. But yeah, I've seen this especially with like subculture spaces. Not hardcore for some reason. Like hardcore has been like safe. That's just cause like, you know, they're just real motherfuckers. But let me just elaborate. This is going to be a lot of like anecdotal stuff and just stuff that I'm seeing. So I could be completely wrong in all of this, or I could be completely right and you agree with me. The first thing I noticed was just kind of like when people would talk about like goth and like a lot of like goth styles. A lot of people just immediately just said it was like, you know, you just needed the politics and the listen to the music to be goth, which isn't everything, you know. Like there's goth literature, there's, you know, like the books, and dressing goth is a lot part of it because you're meant to differentiate yourself from like most of the world. But what I've seen now is just everyone kind of does this quote-unquote trad goth kind of style. Like, if you don't know any of these terms I'm describing, please just look it up. Like, just look it up. But everyone just seems to like copy that like same look and style, and no one seems to go outside of that with like anything different. Like they'll wear like the same pieces, like same silhouettes, same like makeup, and it's like no one, except for like maybe a small few, seem to like try and like just give their own twist on it, like their actual own twist, instead of just relying all on just like this one style. And that's like something I've just seen kind of spread as well. this is like another thing. This is going to be this is a whole subculture topic. I'm just going to be discussing subculture. I've seen the same shit even with furries. Now this is going to get kind of crazy, but when I see fursuits nowadays, like everyone's like just talking about how they're a furry and stuff. Most of these like fursuits, these are like the ones you can like tell these are like the Alibaba Chinese made fursuits. They all have like a very like specific design. I don't know how to describe it. That they all just have like this one design. It's very odd. Like I get like trying to have fun, but like I think a subculture kind of loses like a lot of its like soul when it's just like diluted to like that extent. Let me get a little read up. I have like this photo. There's like this little like passage in a book. I can't mind what the book was. It was just like from a friend. I really agree with the message in this. So here it is. Ultimately, some things need to maintain exclusivity in order to remain true to its roots, or to adhere to the morals that underpin the entire movement. Hardcore is growing worldwide, but we cannot allow our little piece of heaven to burst beyond the seams of the genre's simple fundamentals. Hardcore is for anyone, but not for everyone. Hardcore is not the place for you to make a quick buck. DIY scenes are at a risk of being infiltrated by those who expect hardcore to function in the same capacity as the systems they claim to reject. We must recognize and expel those who see hardcore as a means to an end and not a means to survival. Do not mistake this sentiment, however, as an unwillingness to move with the times, or an unwillingness to accept those who love this stupid music genre. But instead, this should be heeded as an unwillingness to accept those who don't understand the importance of hardcore for the displaced, the street rats, the queer, the working class. Hardcore offers a space to many at risk of drowning in a system set up against them. Make space to those who need hardcore the most. Let's keep hardcore thriving by going to shows, sharing posters, making zines, designing logos, inviting friends, booking shows, and listening to local bands, and generally spreading the word. Your scene needs you. Sorry. Your scene needs you. Keep it moving. When I read that, I was like, that is one of the most truest. I was just so like real, and it's really like, I think it perfectly just describes like what I think's needed. Like there is people trying to like demonize like gatekeeping, saying like oh it's like elitism and stuff, but I think gatekeeping's a very essential thing if you want to keep a subculture living and breathing. You know what I mean? And hardcore is the greatest example of something just standing the test of time again and again and again when it comes to this stuff. Absolutely just wonderful. It's why like I enjoy hardcore myself, just because like there's a natural subculture feeling when I'm like, you know, participating in it and all stuff like I feel it. But let's get back to the rolling, where I'm just seeing like conformity everywhere, because this does relate to like this, you know, a lot of things are just diluted to like just really slop stuff. People seem to like try not to branch out of like things that they want to enjoy themselves. They just seem to like branch only out to things that everyone else seems to be enjoying. I'm gonna make this is gonna be like quite anecdotal. So this is just like, I've noticed this in my town, where like the quote unquote alt scene, which the alt scene in itself is already like the most ironic statement I'll ever say about something, but alt scene in my town, everyone seems to like quite literally just conform in that, which is, that's crazy, yo. Basically guys would like start like bleaching their hair, but everyone else would then just start copying each other with just bleaching their hair. And it was just like, it was just like very weird for me, because I was like, do you guys know you're just gonna like dye your hair, style it? Like, have you seen like literally just Google hair dyes and you'll like probably find something that like speaks to your soul a lot more than just bleaching your hair. And I think that's just kind of like the thing, like what the soul wants compared to like what you give it, you know, what like all the stuff you do for everyone else, it's so disconnected. Like, say you want like a crazy cool hairstyle, you know, you want like nice like, you know, bleach highlights, maybe like a few streaks of like, I don't know, red in your hair, maybe like some cool shapes. No, we're just gonna bleach our hair like everyone else. And I don't really get this, because a lot of people seem like, I think what it is really is a lot of people seem incredibly uncomfortable to stand out, and I think it's a fear of being like recorded and like shamed for just being weird and different. That's why I think like the internet is just the biggest curse on society in general. Just like the amount of times, you know, people just get flamed for just simply living is just, it's fucking ridiculous to me. Just that is a whole talking point, you know. I just think society's very weird. It's very like it's very just like shames anyone for being different. It's quite literally just like crabs in a bucket. Even when you are like the quote unquote different, there's still that like sense of like conformity within that group, and it's just so weird, because like the entire thing of that thing is to go against societal norms like conformity and all that type of stuff. So it's like, it's very weird. And then this is gonna be another anecdotal experience. This is like a very funny one to me. So a friend of mine, big Ween listener, loves Ween, fucking loves that band. Ocean Man, take me by the hand, you know, all that. But this gets kind of funny to me. This is like a weird phenomena that only seems to happen in my town. But he put like a friend of his on the Ween, who like didn't like Ween, you know what I mean? Huh, that rhymed. But got him on the Ween. Then like this guy liked Ween, he started putting Ween on his notes and stuff, and then everybody in this like kind of like niche group all of a sudden just started to like Ween. And I've noticed this is like a pattern that like keeps on happening. It's like it'll be like Ween, or it'll be like a band like Bleach Free, like Free 9 or 9-3, can't mind the name, or like Geese. Oh my, don't even talk to me about Geese and all that, man. It's just like, I get music's like, you know, enjoyable. You don't have to like be the niche of niche, the niche. You know, you don't have to be like that one guy that's like, wow, that's a pretty niche interest. But at like the same time, man, like, you don't have, like, these people will only pick like the most popular songs of these bands. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, you can't enjoy this music. Of course you can't, duh. But I just don't get a point of like labeling yourself as like alternative in any like way, shape, or form, only to like just conform with everybody else, even within your own group. It's just, for me, it's kind of weird, just to like kind of conform. I get like sometimes it makes sense, like, you know, like fucking skinheads, all that stuff. That makes sense. That gives people a sense of community as well. But I think, to me, it's just like people don't seem to like have their own way of doing things, you know. They all seem to just specifically like the exact same type of music, and don't try to like branch out into like anything that's like a bit different, or like even delve into like some of the stuff that they're into a little bit more. They all seem to just stay at like this surface. Everyone just also just seems to like kind of stay at this surface level when it comes to the music. No one seems to like delve deeper into it, into the genre, the roots, whatever. Everyone just seems to kind of stay with like the same free bands and stuff. I'm not saying it's like poser stuff. Well, yeah, it is, but that's another talk for later. But is a pattern that I'm noticing just with like society and just like people around me in general. There is so much conformity, just so much like fitting into a system, and I don't like that. I generally like despise any conformity to a system. Why is that? Probably because I just don't like the system's never been like fucking treating me like I'm a person. I've always been treated like I'm an alien. People see me as weird for just simply breathing, so I don't really care about the system. So I don't see anything wrong with going against it, like in like societal standards. And this seems to be like a really weird thing as well. I want to just delve into like more about society, because that was a whole topic about how, like, you know, your self-expression is mass-produced, which will be the title of this video because I think that goes hard. But I'm gonna kind of just go into other things now with like society. I want to talk about how like I feel cancel culture has kind of brought in like the complacency of like witnessing atrocities. Let me elaborate on this, okay? That sounds very outstretched. Sounds like a reach. Might be a reach, but allow me to just revel on about this. I see a lot of people like demonize stuff immediately, just because it's like a bit outlandish, or it's just like quote unquote uncomfortable for them. So say like someone makes a drawing of a woman, someone will call that quote Gunnar art style. A lot of people just seem to be afraid of just like the anatomy of a woman these days. Like they are terrified. They are terrified. Is there like sometimes where that's like justifiable? Yeah, duh, yeah. But I mean now, anyone will like just look at art, like, or a woman just go Gunnar art style. It's like what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing? And I've just like seen this as well with like games like Outlast Trials. People were freaking out about that for a bit, and it's just like, if you're that uncomfortable with delving into topics that are like uncomfortable, because some stuff like that has happened, like MK Ultra, all that type of stuff. If you're very uncomfortable about that, then, and you try to like shut it off and try to like stop quiet about that, like where are you gonna be when, like, you know, the next set of Epstein files are gonna drop, which I doubt is ever gonna drop. I feel like it's just gonna be a thing that's like kind of tagged along, like we're Little Pig in Minecraft, and they, you know, they got like the fish stick with a carrot, and they're just gonna keep dragging us along, but we're never gonna get a bite of it. So yeah, it's very, very weird kind of discussion. It's kind of like two topics at once. I'm just kind of talking about just how society just seems. I don't mean to sound like a Gen X saying like, you know, kids these days are too soft, but I think people these days are like too soft. Like, I don't mean like, oh, they get offended at like certain words. No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is just people seem to like have like this weird purity culture when it comes to just anything, nudity, gore, just horror, like anything relating to like these types of like parts of life. These things happen. People try to like shut it off completely, freak out about it, and it's just like, what are we doing? This is so backwards. Like, how do we progress if we just keep like suppressing stuff like this? Like, it's just not what we should be doing at the moment. There are bigger fish to fry, my guy. You know, like AI kind of everywhere. Bit of an issue. You know, most world leaders, everybody kind of in like, you know, in like the higher leagues of society, they're all, I'm just gonna say it, baby eating pedophiles. I don't really care about the algorithm for this. I honestly shouldn't. This is what most of these videos are, just for me spewing out my like thoughts into the world. So I have zero care for the algorithm. I don't really care if I make money out of this. I really doubt I would anyway. This is like the most scuffed like recording and everything. But yeah, I think the world is quite literally a fuck. I hate most people. And if you're wondering why, this entire essay, well, not video, essay, more like this whole like rant, everything I talked about is all reasons why I hate most of the world. Anyways, if you have made it to the end of this, I love you so much. You're a goat. Thank you, and be prepared for anything else I talk about. Anyways, love all you. Goodbye.